This is Roland Campos. After years of living in New York City, he's experienced it all. From burgers to bonbons, Roland has taken more than a bite out of the Big Apple. He comes to you today, ready to rate all of New York City's food. This is the Food Court.
Hello, welcome to Roland's Food Court. We have a great show for you tonight. I'm your host, Roland Campos. And as always, you can find anything you need to know about the Food Court on Twitter at Rolandos99, on YouTube, on the YouTube channel at Roland's Food Court, and also on Sirius XM On Demand. We have a great show for you tonight. I banged on the Food Network doors, and Carl opened it. That son of a bitch. He let all the chefs out tonight. We have the king himself of all Creole and beignets, Chef Emeril Lagasse, stopping by. Then we have coming up a young chef that he breaks down his food into science. He has a new book out called The Laws of Cooking. Justin Warner stopping by. But first we have coming in studio, the godfather himself, Chef Emeril Lagasse, promoting his book, Fair Recipes and Hard-Won Wisdoms from My Life in the Kitchen. Chef Emeril Lagasse, you can follow him on Twitter at Emeril. Join me and the Mad Cuban as we speak to Emeril Lagasse. I have my co-host, the great Carl Ruiz, a.k.a. the Mad Cuban, and our very, very special guest, Chef Emeril Lagasse. Thanks for stopping by.
Well,
Chef.
Thanks so much. Thank you for having us. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Good.
How are you?
Super good.
That's a hell of a cookbook you just put out.
Thank you so much. Essential Emeril. Just hitting stands this week today. And it's about as close as a memoir as you're going to get.
Right.
It's not a memoir, but it's really a journey for me in the past 30 years of people, places, dishes who have really meant something, have really inspired me.
It's like a love story almost to your food.
Yes.
Your passion and everything you went through.
Yeah, and, you know, I have a new publisher with Oxmoor, and they basically, when we got together, they said, you know, Emeril, just teach people what you do. Just teach people how to cook. So there's a lot of illustrations in there. There's a lot of technique, from peeling celery to making patty choux or making a roux, you know, because the great thing about a great gumbo, and there's an awesome gumbo in there, chicken and sausage gumbo, is that people, they can't visualize the roux. And unless, you know, it's like I tell people, Roland, if you want to understand the food, you have to understand the people. If you understand the people, you understand the culture, then you can understand the food. So these people that are trying to do Louisiana gumbo, who like never even been to Louisiana, it's very hard to interpret that. So as an example, you know, we talk a lot about the roux because the gumbo is not that sophisticated. It's not that difficult. It's the trinity and stock, but the roux is very, very important. And so we talk a lot about the roux and the color and aromatic, et cetera, and those are the little things that were really important in Essential Emeril.
I learned how to make beignets through watching you on the Food Network as a kid because you started. You're like the godfather of the Food Network.
Oh, thank you.
From How to Boil Water, Essence, and then your talk show was amazing. I miss it.
Thank you.
Would you ever bring? I know they probably won't bring it back though. But do you ever miss it sometimes?
It seems to be the question, Roland, of the week right now is when are you bringing Emeril Live back?
I mean, we need it. Yeah. I mean, we need real chefs back.
Well, I agree with you that cooking food channels in general, just cooking shows in general, I think we've lost a lot of that. I don't think there are a lot of them that are teaching people how to cook.
Right. Yeah.
You know, they're teaching people, you know, how to panic and and competition, et cetera, which, hey, I'm all for that. You know, I'm cool with that.
I can't watch one more cupcake competition. I get it. The cupcake.
But I mean, I want to know, you know, what do I do with these matzutake mushrooms? I'd like to know that because, you know, back when I was doing Emeril Live, people didn't know what a button mushroom was. But now you can go to, you know, these whole food places and groceries and farmers markets all over the place, and the ingredients that they have is just unbelievable. But I don't really see a lot of that serious cooking back.
Well, the thing is, I started watching the Food Network since day one in New York, and it used to be great chef, then goes on TV, Now
Yeah.
it's reverse. Now you go on TV first, and then you try to figure out how to be a chef. I think it's confusing. People need that comforting, like what's in that book, that recipe, pompano with penne.
Yeah,
That's real food.
real food.
My 9-year-old can eat that, and my grandmother can eat that.
Right.
That's knowing how to
That's
cook.
real food. And you know what? And as we talk about that dish, because, there's not a lot of, outside of the South, outside of the Gulf region, pompano can be a little sketchy,
Right.
as far as finding it. Although there are some here on the East Coast because we're very blessed. But, we talk about, okay, so, there are other fishes that you could use. You could use flounder, you could use sole. And I think that's given people, for me, I'm just trying to get people and encourage people to cook. That's why in Essential Emerald, the recipes in here, you're not going to find 62 ingredients and be freaking out like,
Where do I buy that?
yeah, where do I buy it?
It's all Chipotle.
How do I even have time to put 62 dishes, ingredients together? So we talk about in the beginning about the right cookware. We talk about cutlery. We talk about stocking your pantry. There's a great section for cocktails, which, is part of the experience. Even right to the end where, maybe people don't want something sweet to end their meal. So we talk about cheeses and we talk about things that go properly with cheese. I think the book is really solid and complete. There's not one dish in there that I would say, when you write books, sometimes at the end of it, you say to yourself, well, gee, I wish I would have made it shrimp and okra instead of chicken. I can't say that for this book.
That's great.
Everything is solid. There's memories. There's people. I dedicate the book to my late friend Charlie Trotter, who was a great chef. Charlie and I, we cooked a lot together. We traveled a lot together, journeyed a lot together. There's
He was so young too. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know, crazy. So I hope that people get these are a lot of my favorite recipes, all favorite recipes, but I think there are a lot of wisdom that's behind it as well.
And I think that people need that now because everything is so overproduced and over the top. Like I judge cookbooks when I look at them because I'm a professional chef. I have 2 restaurants.
Right.
But when I recommend a cookbook to someone, I always say, can I make this tonight? And most of the recipes in there, everyone has what they need to make it tonight. And that, you look at books now, you have to be at Sur La Table for 3 hours before you even get to cook something.
Right.
And that's a problem.
Right.
This is something that someone can cook on a budget.
Yeah.
The recipes are open.
Yeah.
You learn a lesson from it.
You're talking about beignets. There's a dish in there called, there's crab fritters in there, which is
they look delicious.
Combination. They're really delicious. You should check that out.
Yeah, I will definitely. Yeah, how do you feel though? Now your food's not only on Earth, it's also in space. The space station in here.
When I was in the middle of doing Emeril Live, NASA approached me to create some food for the astronauts to take to space. And I went, wow, this is pretty cool, man. It's just like, okay. So I created some things in the test kitchen and then, had to work with them in Houston, at NASA. And then all of a sudden, here I am in the middle of an Emeril Live show and we're talking to these guys in space, eating my food.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Unbelievable. NASA can actually get something done.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Before they cut the budget.
This is before the budget.
Yeah, funny. When you go back to Florida, what do you do to relax? You go fishing still?
Yeah, I'm a crazy fisherman.
Is that boat al dente yours?
Yes.
What a boat.
Thank you. I'm a crazy fisherman, and that's my one passion, hobby, all in one. I love just getting away, getting out there. But I have a connection to I won't get in the ocean, but I have a connection to the ocean. I just, I'm freaked out. I know what's in the ocean, so, it's not a place that I want to hang out in. But I'll be on top of it and, that's what I like to do. I wish I could do it more.
How do you feel about the trend of just everything pumpkin, like pumpkin lattes, pumpkin spice, everything? Is it just too much at times?
It's that time of the year, and maybe we overproduce pumpkin this season. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's more like chemical pumpkin.
Yeah. Right. It's all you're right.
Yeah,
everywhere you go.
Starbucks has a secret society
now.
A
secret society
Of pumpkin.
A pumpkin.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'm walking down the street, and what do you smell? Pumpkin. You walk into the pumpkin, right? They got
like
pumpkin perfume. It's
and everything's farm to table now too. It feels like it's from.
You can't really eat a pumpkin anywhere though. No one really cooks it. It just.
I like pumpkin, but it's for me it's a moderation thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my one slice of pumpkin pie a year,
That's it.
and I don't drink, flavored. If I'm going to drink coffee, I'm going to drink coffee. I don't want pumpkin in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's great.
Yeah, and this is also Burger King's new Whopper. Have you seen this one? They made it the Halloween Whopper.
The Halloween Whopper.
Black bun.
Yeah.
Doesn't that look delicious?
And everybody tweets, if you eat it, you will poo green.
Yeah. Solid green.
That's Burger King's
It's like all over
promise.
Twitter.
And it's not because of the lettuce.
No.
It hasn't. No, it hasn't.
I mean, I don't want to eat that kind of stuff. I just,
Yeah, I'm
Unbelievable.
it's where are we going here?
I think it's and I think this book is great with that because it brings things back to basics.
Yeah,
it
thank
really
you.
does.
Thank
I mean,
you.
I went through the whole thing, and you start earmarking. Oh, this is good for Christmas, or this would be great for Thanksgiving, or
Yeah.
that turkey roulade thing. Wow, that looks awesome.
That's to die for, and it's not
That looks awesome.
Not that difficult either. And those of you that are looking, in a few weeks away, it's scary to even think in a few weeks away. Thanksgiving is around the corner. So this is an incredible recipe that the chef was just talking about. This turkey roulade that's in the book. That's this little stuffing. It's super
Unbelievable.
good, delicious.
Even I don't like turkey. I'll eat that.
Yeah.
That looked great.
Yeah. I'm with you.
How did you foresee? You're the first chef ever to go to Vegas when people thought it was crazy to open a restaurant.
22 years ago.
Now it's better restaurants in Vegas than in New York.
It's amazing. I just was there a few days ago, and the fish house at the MGM is 21 years old. So when I got asked to go out there was basically Wolfgang, Mark Miller, who had Coyote Cafe.
Right.
Yeah.
Charlie had a little stunt for a while, but Charlie didn't want to change. He wanted to do his degustation program, and the casino had different ideas because they don't want people locked in a restaurant for four hours.
Exactly.
They want you out on the casino floor, right? But it was just a handful of us, and now, like you said, I'm walking around just in one hotel alone, right? Just if you go into the Venetian Palazzo complex, I mean, how many restaurants are there?
It's crazy.
15, 18, and all top-end, top
Crazy
restaurants.
stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's funny. I just came back from Vegas. And I was thinking about that. 22 years ago, you opened a restaurant. And I was telling my wife, I said, Emeril's DNA is in all these restaurants. Because anyone that opens restaurants knows your cooks leave and they go open other places and stuff. You started something where all those guys, now they're running their own kitchens out there. It's a whole food community out there.
Yeah,
there was nothing. It was a ghost town.
Exactly.
There was nothing.
When I first told people, Roland, that we were going to open a fish restaurant in the middle of the desert, they thought I was absolutely crazy. They're like, "You're going to open a fish restaurant in the middle of the desert? Don't you know we don't have any water? Where are you going to get the fish?" And we began working with our guys in New Orleans and in Louisiana, and then slowly now it's crazy. Now, I mean, there's trucks running all day, all night long from Los Angeles. Bringing, you can get what do you want? You want Poussin? You want what do you want? It's amazing.
It's the largest food hub for restaurants
I think
in
so.
the country. Definitely.
I think so.
Everybody's there.
I mean, everybody's there, and not only everybody from the United States. I mean, there's Guy Savoy, there's, Joe Robuchon, there's, I can go on and on and on and on, Roland Possad, it's endless. And it you think it's going to stop, and then all of a sudden there's another crane.
Yeah.
You're right. And there's another place going up. And if
23 cranes there now.
Yeah, right. 23 cranes.
The only other place where there's more per capita is Nashville. There's 11, and Nashville's going crazy with food.
Yeah, it is going crazy.
It's a hell of a town.
Yeah, it is a great town. But you know what? And then there's New York City. I swear there's construction on every block, don't you think?
But it's part of New York City. Is just, I think they just knock things down to stay
To
busy.
rebuild them?
Yeah. It doesn't even make sense anymore. You know, I'm 40 years old, and I'm telling people, oh, in the old days, it changes so much.
Right.
The city doesn't belong to anyone. It just keeps spitting you out and getting new
6
blood.
months old. Time
it's
to
like a
change
vampire.
It.
Just it takes everything you got and just leaves you for dead.
When you were 23 years old, taking over Commander's Palace, what was going through your mind at the time? Because it's this world-renowned restaurant, and you were just 23.
You know, I never really looked at it, you know, from an age perspective. I really looked at it from a challenge perspective, and I knew that I had some big shoes to fill. No pun intended. With, you know, Paul was leaving to open K. Paul's, even though K. Paul's was open almost 2 years before he finally did leave Commanders. And I never disrespected tradition. I always respected tradition, and in my off time searched for that, you know, whether it was who was growing things, who were raising things. And for me, it was really sort of a lifestyle to change. It needed to change, but at the same time, they weren't given the baton to me right off the bat to just say, "Okay, go ahead, have a field day and do what you want to do." Because, you know, as people, you certainly know, as people hopefully know, that, you know, Ella and Dick Brennan were and still are magical restaurateurs, magical. And I had the pleasure of, you know, working and getting paid there, yet, you know, going to school pretty much at the same time. So, cooking for me, it was an evolution, but learning seriously the restaurant business from Ella and Dick was amazing. And it's funny because I visited with Ella 2 weeks ago. I went to Commanders, and she came, and we sat at the kitchen table. She's 90 years old and hasn't missed a beat. Is maybe moving a little slower, but mentally she, you know, still telling me what I should be doing, not be doing.
They don't make restaurateurs like that anymore.
No.
That's a battleship.
Really amazing experience.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're out of time. So, but if for Christmas, or pick it up right away, Essential Emeril. You can get it on Amazon.com.
If you want a book that you can actually make the food, buy this book.
It goes from Asian fusion to Tex-Mex, and you can see the history of love and passion Chef Emeril has.
And look at his beautiful boat.
Oh, yes. And
God, I want to be on that boat.
Gumbo is beyond delicious. Thank you, Chef Emeril, for stopping by Food Court.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to Chef Emeril Lagasse for stopping by. We're moving on. It's a busy show to Chef Justin Warner to talk about his new book. And let's go now. We have a busy show. Join me in the Mad Cuban as Justin Warner is about to enter the studio. I'm here with my trusty co-host, Carl Ruiz, Mad Cuban.
What's up?
And we're here with special guest Justin Warren, who has a book out, The Laws of Cooking. Justin, thanks for stopping by the Food Court.
Hey, thanks for having me. Very excited. I love food courts.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was reading your book, though. You're kind of doing traditional food, but you're adding your own twist to it. Like I like the peanut butter and jelly sandwich one.
Yeah, well, yeah. So the book is not so much about recipes, but about like flavor theory. And so I've kind of looked at all of the foods that I've eaten, you know, both high end and low end, and I found recurring patterns, and I call these the laws. And so, the law of peanut butter and jelly is a series of flavors. Something fatty, peanut butter, something fruity, jam, and something to spread it on, that govern a lot of other foods. What is pizza if not for fatty cheese, fruity tomato, and something to spread it on?
Yeah.
And so I find these recurring themes, they inspire the recipes within.
Now, did Alton Brown have like a lot of influence on you? Or I saw he did a forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a mentor and friend. I mean, he kind of lit the flame. You know, I've always been like an outspoken person. I've always been into food, but I've never really considered myself an authority until I met him, and he said, "You know what? Hey, man, you're an authority. Just FYI."
I wish he called me in authority. Alton Brown thinks I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Alton Brown's got a pretty tough exterior, so it's pretty incredible that you were able to crack through that.
Well,
He must have really liked you.
yeah, I mean, we're kind of cut from the same cloth, Alton and I. We're both a little weird. We've had a lot of similar life experiences. And I mean, we're both people that aren't just about food. And I think everybody, people walk up to Alton Brown and are like, food, 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 food. And I'm like, hey, I heard you have an airplane. I don't know. When you're in food, like, all I want to eat is pizza, burgers, wings, and not talk about food. You know what I mean? I love it. This is my job, though.
What's your favorite pizza spot in Brooklyn right now?
Oh, man. I don't like talking about pizza so much because everybody's got an opinion and generally they're a-holes about it. But I go to a spot called Tony's. It's on Knickerbocker. It's regular pizza for regular people. And they probably do 100 slices an hour out of that place. Wow. And so the thing is, I go in there. I mean, they know me, maybe not by name, but they know me by face. They say, hey, what's up? Great to see you. The guy noticed I had a wedding ring on. Congratulations. You know what I mean? It's like I just feel like family there. He's got a Mexican flag. He's got an Italian flag. It's cool.
Very nice.
Well, isn't that the best part about restaurants when you kind of like walk in there and they already know what you want to order and it just feels like home? I mean, it's kind of like the way that you eat your meals and stuff from your personal life at home with family.
I totally agree. It's the, Cheers effect. Sometimes you want to go, where everybody knows your name.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, when you do you still do Rebel Eats or Foodie Calls?
Yeah, Foodie Call is in full effect. Foodie Call is a pretty interesting thing. Food Network and I were actually the first. Foodie Call was the first program made by anyone specifically for Snapchat, and so a lot of the content that you see on Snapchat is just kind of regurgitated or repackaged. So we made something original. And then it debuts on Snapchat, and then it goes to live on the web after it expires on Snapchat. And, it's been a really crazy thing. I didn't necessarily know that it would be such a big deal. Right. But I went to see, I went to see actually Hedwig and the Angry Inch over here the other day. And as I was walking by the line, people were like, Snapchat chef. I was like, wow.
Internet famous.
Yeah, man. That's for being 32. Like I'm like, wow. That's like
I love your cold brew episode though.
Oh, thank you.
That was a good one.
That was really fun. That actually came to me from watching an Alton Brown episode. He's like, yeah, I store my coffee with my spices. And I was like, spices? And then it occurred to me to do rapid infusion. Right. Which you do with spices all the time.
Yeah. How do you feel about not being you're not the traditional Food Network chef because you're not from a culinary background. You're just like self-taught.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, I think the vast majority of people who cook for themselves are self-taught for the most part. Right. I mean, everybody eats generally 3 times plus a day, and nobody goes to culinary school. So I don't know. I feel like if anybody's going to be the voice of the people, it should be someone that hasn't gone to culinary school.
You're saving the money too.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know. I get excited about stuff and I pursue it.
Culinary school's gotten really weird though too. It's like a money machine now. You know, you go to these schools. I mean, it's $30,000 and you're out in 6 months. You can't do anything in 6 months. You know, some people need school. They need a piece of paper. They need the regiment. They need that extra whatever. I didn't go to any school. I went to high school and barely made it out of there. Oh, yeah. 3rd grade was like Harvard for me, man. I was like, this is crazy. You want me to add shit? I know the feeling. I was like, right in cursive? What is this? I'm like, when's Sloppy Joe Day? Yeah, right?
Well, I mean, why did you get into, the culinary arts? Were you just sick of the cafeteria food? Were you like over the weird pizza and beef?
I don't know. I mean, I started bussing tables when I was 14 or 15. I don't know. I just didn't stop, really. I'm still bussing tables, kind of, just on a bigger scale. And so, I don't know. When you have no other marketable skills, you pursue the one that you have, which is to mess around with food. So that's what I do. I mean, originally I was front of house. I actually worked at the Modern, right around the corner from these offices, and I was a captain there, which is kind of like a big deal waiter.
I love the Modern. It took me a year to figure out how to get inside, though.
I understand.
I didn't understand the door. I kept ending up in the museum. I'm like, oh shit.
Is that one of Danny Meyer's creations?
Yes, it is one of Danny Meyer's joints. Yeah, working there taught me a lot about hospitality, but also about articulating flavor. And so when you're a waiter, especially at a high-end place like that, you're trying to find the most clear and articulate way to explain lobster and vanilla to someone who, is like 90 plus.
Yeah.
Right. But just like made of money. They're just like, you don't want to waste their time, you don't want to waste your time. So you say,
it's going to be good, Mr. Burns.
But they want to know. They want to know why. They're like, explain it to me. Yeah, Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns, eat it. It's infused with money.
Yeah.
So, well, you say.
Were they bad tippers though, or were they?
I don't know. I didn't get into restaurants for tips.
Yeah, but...
it's like complaining that you lost a scratch off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know if I had any other skill where I could actually get a salary. Then you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I hate complaining about tips.
Restaurants are so high-end restaurants. I mean, especially in Midtown, like they just have these catchphrases. I sometimes I think the chefs just sit in the back like, that's not selling. Put honeysuckle in the description.
I mean, sometimes though that's what it takes. I just closed my restaurant. It's tough out here.
Congratulations.
Yeah, hey, I've never felt taller. Like they say when you go into space, you like grow like an inch or two. Right. Man, I feel like, wow, am I touching 6 feet yet?
Owning restaurants are so tough.
When you had your restaurant, did you have partners? Is that what's happened, or just?
Oh yeah,
too much of everything.
Well, yeah, a lot of everything. I mean, the bottom line for me is that I can do something like this, and thousands of people can hear it and be affected, and go to their kitchens enthusiastic and say, you know what, I feel great about my relationship with food. I'm lucky if I could do 90 covers a night, I have a very small restaurant, so like we were breaking our necks to do 90 covers.
And you got a Michelin star too.
No, we didn't get a Michelin star. We got a Michelin nod, which is like, they call it a bib gourmand, which is like, hey, if you guys had money, maybe you could be in Michelin.
Just
a Michelin t-shirt.
But yeah, it's like a Michelin t-shirt, yeah. But I mean, we got that every year that we were open, which is not bad for somebody who had never cooked before.
Yeah, it's like, you see like Brooklyn movement there too, even friends who own restaurants. They get in the paper just for an article like they're the next it chef. Then the landlords wanted to jack up the rent so high that they closed it next year. I
mean, even when I moved to Bed-Stuy, the neighborhood I still live in, I moved there like 8 years ago or something. I'm terrible with time and dates, so sorry.
Don't be a kick.
That was a bad neighborhood.
Why Justin's accounting career failed.
Yeah, right. I don't even think about it. I'm either working or not.
Right,
that's
exactly.
It. Where I opened the restaurant, you wouldn't have even thought. Like, people thought it was like ludicrous. Like, what are you doing, idiot? Like, people were like, literally, if you can look at the comments in the first New York Times article, and they're like, we give them 4 months, and they're like, we're not coming there. We're gonna get shot. Anyway, now I've even had to move farther east in my neighborhood, simply because I can't afford that strip.
It's so crazy. I mean, just going back to the neighborhood, I remember being in Bed-Stuy maybe like 6 years ago, because my friend lived there, and I drive around the corner and there's like a SWAT team. Like, that's how bad that neighborhood is, and it's really amazing how
good if you're a criminal. I mean,
for the criminals it was good, but just how much the landscape has changed. And I think that a lot of these like budding restaurants and stuff contributed to that.
We have like Google alerts set up for the restaurant, and at first it was press. Then it was Craigslist, because it was people marketing their apartments as, you're close to do or dying with this brand new refurbished apartment.
That's funny.
Everything new from IKEA.
Did you ever have any problems with Yelpers? Some of them are just assholes who they wait an extra 5 minutes for brunch and they go, I hate this place.
I mean, while you do get the occasional Yelp, I think that the rating system, and I'll probably be like dragged out in the street after this and beaten by a bunch of chefs, but I actually think Yelp is pretty fair. I don't know. I use it. I simply look at stars. I don't read the reviews because I don't care about
you and whatever it is that you want to talk about. On how you had a bad table or it was drafty.
But I do think that it actually is pretty good. I think restaurants that have 4.5 stars or 4.5 star, they're great restaurants.
Right.
Anything below 3, good luck.
What do you do for relaxation besides cooking?
I play a lot of Nintendo.
Oh, nice. Old school?
I'm only missing like 2 consoles.
Which ones?
Game Boy Advance and Virtual Boy.
Oh, wow.
Is it because of the
Virtual
Bed-Stuy
Boy.
situation?
Yeah, you remember that thing?
Yes, I do. Of course I do.
I mean, I'm just like waiting for the time and place to get those. You know, like it's every time I acquire something like that, it's kind of like I have to like bring it through the Congress of Wife. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes she has veto powers, but mostly she's supportive of it. I do that, and I build a lot of like Lego stuff, which sounds weird, but I'm like, I don't know. I feel like cooking in life is so uncontrollable. Right. It's like it's fun to like walk into my like Lego lair and be like, look, the chef is visiting the farmer's market, and look, that woman's taking a picture of her crumb cake, and like look at that bad guy plotting over here. I don't know. It's just like a nice way to gain some sense of control. I mean, every time I look at one of my little Lego dioramas, I get happy, and so I mean, if you think about that, the first one that I got that I really fell in love with was this like Parisian restaurant. Every time I look at it, I'm happy. I've had that set for like, I don't know, 2 years. Every day I look at it. I don't know. It's like having a dog or something.
Yeah.
Totally worth it.
My brother was really into Lego, and I used to make fun of him. He's a heart surgeon.
Right?
I used to love Legos.
I have a 22 FICO score.
We used to have like a hamper of like all of our like Lego bricks and people and stuff. And I just remember like digging in and then just like finding like an old like hair piece or like an old building block that's like clear. And it's just like Legos are just like a great toy, so I totally get it.
My parents knew right away I was stupid. Like when my brother would get a giant Lego and I get like Playmobil.
You couldn't connect the
I'm
blocks.
like, Mom, I'm 20. I can do a Lego.
I don't know. Playmobil, they're like German injection molded. They're beautiful toys.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to build anything.
Yeah, no interlocking bricks.
Yeah.
No,
and
no
they
real
figured out it's the only
creativity.
thing I didn't eat. They're like, he doesn't eat the Playmobil. We'll get him that.
Yeah. Let's go. Justin Warren, his book is The Laws of Cooking.
Cool
It
book.
is out now,
And how to break them.
and how to break them.
Yeah.
That's right.
What recipe do you feel in love here that's like one of your favorites that you always use at home day to day?
Oh man, that's like choosing one of my 111
Kids.
children. Yeah. Not really. They're recipes. It was you comparing the two.
Yeah, it's almost the same.
Chef life.
Everyone in Utah's like, oh, yeah. That guy's awesome.
I would say I love each recipe equally, but there are certain techniques that I discovered doing it that I fell in love with. Learning how to use a pressure cooker. You know, you can go from 0 to excellent in 15 minutes. The pressure cooker, in my opinion, is kind of like the original microwave.
It seems daunting that if you do it wrong, it fucks up everything.
I think that's some tiny chef telling you that. That's not really how it is. I mean, think about it. Like, would they release something that was like scary or dangerous?
No.
I mean, right? I don't.
No,
That's-
unless you're Volkswagen.
That's true.
I knew that was going there.
We don't care.
In the book, you give a lot of suggestions and like you give a list of equipment that people should have. And there's a lot of diversity in the recipes here. So I was just wondering, like, with all the diversity in the cuisines, like, where did you pick up all of that? Like, how did you mix pork tenderloin mole with donburi? It's like two different cultures coming into one.
I mean, I've had a very weird life. When you have a weird life, you know, you bring along all the lint, and sometimes that lint is culinary. Anyway, I was working at a Japanese restaurant that was staffed by Mexicans but owned by Koreans. So
That's just about right.
Yeah.
That sounds like a 3-star Yelper.
Yeah, I think it's 3.5 at least.
Yeah.
I love that place.
Yeah, in the back there's Mexican food.
Well, that's like I had some of my first real, authentic, delicious Mexican food. I was eating beef tongue in the back.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh,
beef tongue.
beef best cut, right?
Oh, the best.
I've got a beef tongue taco recipe on here. It's glazed with Dr. Pepper.
I love beef tongue. It's the litmus to people I hang out with in the culinary world.
It's my taco litmus,
Yeah,
definitely.
like, oh, I don't eat that. You're done.
Yeah.
I'll see you at Arby's, loser.
Could you imagine it though, like a tongue sliced so thin that it came out like Arby's?
Imagine
That might be delicious with horsey sauce,
Imagine you make an Arby's sandwich out of the tongue. That's a good idea. I think you just came up with something, Justin.
right? Well, you guys supply the bun and I'll supply the tongue.
All right.
That sounded gross. So anyway, I guess to answer your question, I've worked in a lot of places and I've met a lot of people, and I don't think that one cuisine is like one cuisine does not reign supreme. I mean, rice is rice. Every culture eats rice, so why not switch up the rice? Like using jasmine rice and like Creole cooking probably sounds bananas, but if you look at like the spicy influence, the sweet influence, and the fact that it's called Creole, meaning, a mix of things.
Yeah,
like,
we just went to John Besh's tasting dinner.
oh, how was it? I bet it was bonkers.
I ate too much.
Good for you.
No, Roland,
Everybody was dressed up in like black tie attire. I dress in shorts and shirt.
Oh my God,
because shit's gonna spill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the Creole, the shrimp,
The
deep fried
jambalaya.
oysters, jambalaya, and this insane King of Kings cake. It just covered caramelized
Roland's
bananas.
the guy that stands by the door where all the waiters come out.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I do.
He
I like
was
it.
definitely doing that.
And he's like an apology eater, like, I'm sorry,
I'm
I'm
sorry."
sorry, I'm sorry, and he eats everything.
Oh yes, please. I'll take one more.
You're just making their load lighter. That's
Yeah.
it. Somebody's got to do it.
Or
With
the
his Star Wars bib on.
or people talking, I bump into them. I go, I'm sorry. By the time they look at me, I just grab the last one.
Hell yeah.
I had to do that because they were going fast at food, and they had some Creole like soup with shrimp. Was phenomenal.
Take it.
I mean, everything he did was so good.
I think John Besh has some of the best hair in the game.
He has
Yeah.
amazing
And
hair.
I get compliments from my hair all the time, but I think that John Besh and like
He's like
just
the
has
Robert
a-
Redford-ish.
Yeah,
He looks like a young Bo Duke.
Yeah, and then here I am, like fat and sweaty from his food. Like, I like your food. He goes, yeah. You can bring the other girl over here.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What kind of music do you listen to? Music while you cook, or what inspires you?
Yeah, I don't know. Music is kind of the same for me. I listen to a lot of stuff. I'm a big early aughts hip hop guy. I love Outkast. I love some Southern stuff. I have a lot of rap references in the book, actually. Like, there's a sauce consistency called nappe. And so nappe is when you can, like, your sauce is just thick enough that it will stick to the back of a spoon. Anytime I do that, I sing "Y'all Gone Up and Done It" because it's like nappe roots. You know that song?
Yeah.
The nappe roots.
Who does your clogs? You got a lot of sweet clogs, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, you definitely have style going on.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. It's the clogs are made by Dansko, and I've been wearing Dansko's shoes for about how old am I? About 10 years. And it's just a shoe that I wear, and I think that like when we come out of the womb, the doctor should like fit us right away.
Oh, no, I wear them, but mine don't have polka dots on them.
Well, so I like them a lot, and I get on the radio and I talk about their clogs. And so every now and then they'll be able to find me a women's pattern, but in a giant size.
That's cool.
And so yeah, these are actually a women's pattern.
Well, I think we just got you another pair.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Did you ever use your cooking skills when you first met your wife to impress her?
That's a good question. Not really. I was more of a let me take you out to this place that I know and let professionals do it. I've made some good food for her, but it's a difficult thing cooking for someone that you love because you want it to be perfect, and I get a little crazy about that. And she's also like, just kind of like pats me on the head, good job, and like pushes something off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We cook for each other a lot. But we never try and win each other's affection with it.
Nice. Are you at pastries just as well? Because I know that's a different science.
I mean, when tasked, I
It's
can
like pain in the
handle
balls
it.
at times.
Yeah, I mean, I have every chapter in this book has a dessert. A lot of times it is leavened. So is it my favorite thing to do? No, but yeah, why not? I don't know. I think pastry is just as beautiful as anything else. I never knock it.
It's like relaxing to me, like yoga when you make it.
Really? For me, it's hard to improvise with pastries. Like, you got to get all the measurements right, and I'm not really good at that.
Well, the way I mean, this may sound a little insulting to the world of pastry, but the way I look at pastry is you are a master canvas fabricator before you are a painter.
Right.
And so I think chefs are like, savory chefs are mostly painters. I think that, and they rely on somebody else doing the science of building the canvas. I think pastry, once you have a beautiful canvas, take, for example, one of the most famous pastries in New York, the cronut. Why is it that they can introduce any flavor to the cronut and it's delicious?
Yeah,
It's because it's a beautiful canvas.
Yeah, this month is horchata.
Yeah, right? See? Look,
I like that.
Yeah.
very
Look at Roland's
enthusiastic.
face.
Yeah, very excited.
Horchata's delicious, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be just as delicious when it goes in my stomach.
My hate of pastry comes from being in professional kitchens for 20 years and getting yelled at by the pastry chef. Like, they have like this little oasis in the kitchen.
I hear you. I have a
And
specific.
they're always freaking out, like, who ate my twills?
Yeah.
Why are you here? Where's my special knife?
Yeah,
Where are my
wha-
Simplat? Like, it's always a fucking problem.
Are the best ones are cracked out though? The cracked out pastry chefs.
Thing is like we're on the line, right? All hell's breaking loose. People are cut, screaming, and then you go back there and they have like their little radio on, and they're like cleaning their little ice cream scoopers and
Yeah.
stuff. Hey, what can I do for you? And they'll never give it to you. I need side towels. I don't have any.
I have that exact story in the book. Yeah, it's like the pastry chef Marco Mont, genius at the modern. Now at Gabrielle, they just got 3 stars in the Times, and which is not bad for like first 6 months of business. Anyway, yeah, we had this relationship where he would just like look at me from between the tiny little shells of the past, and it was like
trolls.
Yeah, I feel like he could, like, if he wanted to exert just a little more pressure, he could fire his eye at me and like knock me out with his eyeball, and then like it would like shoot back into his skull, and then he'd like go back to like placing his macarons.
That's okay.
They're so mean back there.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are out of time. I'm sad to say, but buy his book on Amazon.com. Justin Warner, The Laws of Cooking and How to Break Them, and check him out on Twitter at Eat Fellow Humans.
I love that.
That's a great Twitter name.
Love that handle.
Thank you, Justin, for stopping by the Food Court. Thank you, Carl, Noah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Justin, for stopping by. The Mad Cuban had just got a phone call from his wife. He seems like he's a little bit in trouble. He's waving his arms back and forth. I can see him in the glass. But we cannot stop the show for the Mad Cuban, because now we are welcoming one of the best-selling authors, the Iron Chef himself, Chef Bobby Flay. I'm here with New York Times best-selling author, chef, owner of some of the best restaurants I ever ate at, Iron Chef and James Beard Award winner, television star Bobby Flay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for stopping by Roland's Food Court.
How are you?
Good. First question: are you a Mets fan?
I'm not a Mets fan. I'm
New York.
I'm a Yankee fan, but I'm still rooting for the Mets for sure.
Me too.
Some people, like, if they're a Yankee fan, they hate the Mets. Like, I'm a New Yorker, so I'm rooting for the Mets. I'm not. Who am I voting for? Chicago?
Yeah, I'm a Yankees fan, but I love the Mets food over there.
Citi Field?
Yeah, I love their food better than.
What do you eat there? Shake Shack?
Palafrita's flaming young tip sandwich.
Wow, that's pretty specific.
Yeah,
Okay.
I went there. Saw Harvey. Big comeback. He hit 3 home runs.
Yeah.
I was in line for I missed every home run. So I came back. All my friends were high-fiving in the VIP seats, and then they all chastised me for missing the 3 home runs. But I had a better sandwich than they did.
That's exactly right. I mean, it's, sacrifice.
You're here promoting Brunch at Bobby's. The 140 recipes for the best part of the weekend is now available on Amazon.com. I loved it, though. I love your book. And I was going through, I bought stuff to make your chorizo potatoes.
You gonna do that?
For that? Yeah, I'm going to do that this weekend.
You got to have, like, if you're going to make brunch and you're going to have eggs, you have to have some kind of home fries and potatoes. Have to have it. And in the book, there's all kind, like, there's rosemary home fries, there's, the chorizo ones, there's wild mushrooms. I mean, to me, you got to have some home fries for sure. Cast iron pan, that's the key.
Yeah, I got a couple of, and the key is also, I saw your book, you have a lot of syrups, too, that you can create your own.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I like to use bourbon a lot. Obviously, a lot of maple syrup. I use molasses, honey, all kinds of things like that.
Yeah, and also you made it even easier for if you ever throw a brunch party, you could turn the back of the book and you have like menus set for us.
Yeah, exactly. So that people can actually put together the recipes to make a meal without thinking about it.
Yeah, I love it. Are you still doing the Food Network, trying to find a celebrity chef?
Food Network Star?
Yeah, Food Network Star.
Yeah, that's like the biggest show on the network.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
Is Guy Fieri like the biggest one that you guys found so far?
Yeah, I mean, he's, certainly the poster boy for that show. He's had a very successful run there for sure.
You started here, you were born in New York and raised. Is that how you became a chef, where you love food from New York, or is it through different work experiences you had at restaurants? I
dropped out of high school, and then I went to work in a restaurant in the Broadway Theater District. And then I kind of fell in love with it. And then I went to the French Culinary Institute. I was in the very first class of that school. I didn't learn through books. I learned through life. And so I just kind of sort of navigated my way through it all.
Yeah, do you still go to the Mimi's Pizza?
Mimi's, yeah, on 84th Street.
In Lex?
Yeah, we used to hang out on that street corner and eat pizza. Seriously, that's what we did. Back in the yesteryear, like kids used to hang out on street corners in New York City. It doesn't happen anymore. There used to be like 30 of us. Yeah, do you ever go, when you were there, go to J.G. Mellon's at times? J.G. Mellon's is like the best burger in New York. Yeah, I was trying to tell my buddy Paul, like he wanted to go to lunch. He's one of our producers, but he suggested Wendy's. No. And I abide by your rule, no fast food restaurants. No fast food. Why? I mean, you don't need it. You're in New York City. Yeah, exactly. You want to go to Wendy's, where, in Times Square? Yeah. He did, literally. That's ridiculous. I tell my friends now, if you pick fast food, I'm leaving you guys behind. I'm going to go have a delicious meal. Yeah. And then I'll meet you wherever you guys somebody's want. Actually cooking something. Yeah, because like J.G. Mellon's, the crispness on the burger when you eat it. You like that, right? You can't beat it. You can't get it anywhere else. I'm going to go get one right now. Yeah, it makes me so hungry. What time do they open? They should be open soon. But for you, they probably open up anytime. No.
How do you feel about Shake Shack now? Because they're like taking over the West Coast now.
They've done an amazing job at marketing their company. And people love it. It's like a cult. It's great. I mean, because it's in some ways it's sort of like the next version of McDonald's. But people want better food.
Yeah, I love your website too, though, because your website gives so much information from recipes, videos, even fitness too.
Yeah, for sure.
And how do you feel now that your assistant now has her own cookbook?
Oh, Stephanie.
Stephanie, and it's called The Treat.
Treats, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's really funny about that? She didn't tell me she was doing the book until it was done, and she handed it to me. I had no idea. I was like, "You wrote a book?" She's like, "Yeah, I didn't want to say anything."
Do you still do the throwdowns? Because that's one of my favorites now.
They still show throwdown and repeats. I do a show called Beat Bobby Flay.
For Beat Bobby Flay, was there ever an episode that hasn't been shown or they didn't want to go against you?
No.
Everybody's always excited.
Well, I don't know if they're excited, but they do it.
I see some people, though, they get excited in the episode, but like, you can't win against you. I mean,
that's not true.
It's tough, though, to beat you, though, because you know how to improvise on the fly.
Well, that's sort of what I bring to the table, which is like, I'm not afraid to cook any dish. I'm going to try anything. And my food is always based on flavor. So like, no matter what I do, even if I don't know how to make the dish, I'm going to make it taste like something. And then sometimes the other chefs that come on, they get a little nervous, so they start changing and improvising something that's tried and true to make it better or fancier or whatever it is. And a lot of times that's when they make their misstep.
Yeah, I enjoy how you spice up everything finally now. Flavor, yeah.
Who wants bland food?
I sure don't. I went to the barbecue festival a few months ago, and because of you, I waited in line for Salt Lick.
Oh, how was it?
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I had their ribs and their sausage.
Oh, I like Salt Lick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Where do you like barbecue in New York?
I go to John Brown's Smokehouse or I go to Delaney's Barbecue.
I don't know
Brisket
those.
Town.
Where's that?
Brisket Town's in Brooklyn. It's phenomenal. No sauces is allowed in his restaurant. It's all just dry rub.
How about Mighty Quinn's?
It's good, but some places hit and miss.
These guys are shaking their heads yes. They like Mighty Quinn's.
Yeah, I do too. Like, they'll say Mighty Quinn's, but I'll go Delaney's. I go
Really?
to Brisket Town, yeah.
I have to go to those places because I really like Mighty Quinn's a lot. What's the other place in Brooklyn? All American or Old Town or
Hometown. Hometown's delicious, but the Brisket Town beats it.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you guys been to Brisket Town? You don't take these guys with you?
I take them everywhere. I take them to expensive high-end restaurants. I drop like $200. Yeah,
Really?
It's like a date for me. It's like, go home and say bye.
They just want some. All they want is some brisket. I can tell.
Yeah, Delaney's makes.
All right, this is the hungriest I've been all day. This is good.
I went to Pap's barbecue during the whole barbecue fest, and they torched each rib individually.
Really?
Yeah, because the guy was in the back saying, "Come back, I'll show you a secret." I'm like, "All right," and he got torched and let each rib, and then he bite into it. It was crispy, and yet it had a sweetness to it.
They torched it with a propane torch?
Propane torch.
But did you taste the propane?
No.
Okay.
That's why I thought, I was like, it's going to be kind of crappy. But he torched it. He goes, wait a minute. He goes, now eat it. And I ate it. It was phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah, that was his secret. So,
just
well,
put
not
it on
anymore. Oops.
Why don't you just put it on the grill?
They did. They threw it on the grill, torched it, then throwed it. It's like this one guy.
They grill it, then torch it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this guy was just torching all day long, the poor bastard.
Sounds excessive.
Yeah, but he said it makes for one of the best ribs you'll ever have. And it was one of the best things he ever had.
Really?
Yeah, with Thanksgiving coming up, is there any like one mistake people always make that you always see it time and time again?
You know what the key to Thanksgiving is? Warm chicken stock on the stove.
Oh, really?
I'll tell you why. Because I roast my turkey, then I slice it, I carve it, and I put it in a big tray. Ooh. Then I put hot chicken stock over it when it's time to eat and put it in the oven so it rehydrates it and brings it back to life. Also for like your dressing or your stuffing, hot chicken stock, because otherwise it's going to dry out. Oh, wow. Like you need hot chicken stock for Thanksgiving. That's the key. Yeah, otherwise everything's going to be cold.
Are you always go to when you go to a friend's house like, oh, Bobby's here, cook for us?
No, I don't do that. I don't bring my knives to other people's house.
Yeah. Are you a sweets dessert person?
I am, but I'm not. I'm more savory.
Savory, yeah. If you ever want desserts, have you ever heard of Butter and Scotch in Brooklyn?
No, what's that?
They make the best. It's like they're boozy pies and boozy cakes they make, but they infuse it with all booze.
Yeah,
it's one of the best pies and cakes.
So your job basically, you just go and eat everywhere.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. You can tell. I try to go to the gym, but I walk by the gym, and then I go to Dominic Ansel's kitchen. It's right by.
For cronuts?
No, for his savory stuff.
Are the cronuts good?
The cronuts are phenomenal.
I've never had one.
Each month is a different flavor, and then if you go to his kitchen, his new place, it's sweet and savory. So everything's made to order. Like I ordered a mousse yesterday, and I felt a little bit sad. So I had a chocolate cake too. So it was delicious. So made me happy. Then I walked by New York Sports Club. But next time. I was too full. I can't eat and work out.
Why bother?
I try. I do some sit-ups and then I get too tired. Again, your book is out now, Brunch with Bobby. When did brunch become such an institution now? Because before it was breakfast, now it's brunch, the new menus and everything.
It's just because, as food got more important in this country, everything else did as well. And so why not make brunch special and elaborate? The great thing about brunch is there's no rules. There's some guidelines, and it always starts with a cocktail.
I do want to try. I'm going to go to Gato next month.
Yeah, you have to come.
Because I heard it's phenomenal. I went to all your other restaurants. Bar Americana is phenomenal. Mesa's phenomenal.
Yeah. And you got to come to Gato. It's a new one.
Does Gato serve brunch?
No.
No. Is it just
dinner only?
Dinner only?
Yep.
Nice. Mesa serves brunch, right?
Yeah. And Bar American does.
Bar American. And one last question before I know you have to head out. Are you excited for the new Star Wars? Are you a Star Wars fan?
I'm not really a Star Wars fan. I'm sorry. Does that bum you out?
No, because I just go for snacks, really.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest with you. I go for the popcorn and the...
Right.
Well, I sneak in my own desserts. Like, I get a box from Dominic and Sells.
Right.
And I open it. One Christmas party, my producer threw... His wife threw all these nice, elaborate desserts. I brought my own from my favorite places. They find it rude. Do you find that rude when people do that?
No, you can bring your own desserts to my house anytime.
Thank you, Bobby Flay, for stopping by Roland's Food Court. Go out now and order Brunch with Bobby on Amazon.com. And also, he's on Twitter at bflay, and go to www.bobbyflay.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Roland's Food Court is now closed. If you missed it or want to hear it again, check it out on SiriusXM On Demand. Also, check out Roland's Food Court on Instagram. Till next time.